I am Jeff Case, Managing Director for Bozzuto Development Company. This is such a profoundly proud moment for us, and I know many in this crowd share a collective pride in what we, the city, and the community have created here together. Everyone involved with this project was inspired by the rallying cry of our national anthem and the individuality of the American spirit. We hope this building, which sits proudly 25 feet above Key Highway, it reflects this team's unrelenting pursuit to deliver an emotionally resonant community that will continue to evolve and cement its place not only in Baltimore, but of Baltimore. A grand entrance on Ford Avenue presents an extraordinary lobby and restaurant space that will become an active community gathering place. Immediately above is a mix of social lounges, fitness spaces, co-working areas, and nearly an acre of exterior amenities. Here we stand at the pool deck, where the courtyard opens to the harbor, focusing our attention out towards the city. Indeed, Anthem House celebrates the spirit of individuality and embraces the energy of innovation. I would like to thank the amazingly passionate and talented partners and consultants with whom we celebrate and share this impressive stage tonight. Thank you to Tom and Toby Bozzuto, Jeff Jacobson and Alex Kapicki of Solstice Partners, and Scott Plank and Steve Jennings of Warhorse Cities. Your vision, as well as your unwavering confidence in and commitment to the future of Baltimore, inspired us all to push boundaries and deliver a project like no other. We are incredibly grateful for the leadership and support of Mayor Catherine Pugh and her staff, especially Deputy Chief of Strategic Alliances Colin Tabbert, Baltimore Housing Commissioner Michael Braverman, and BDC President Bill Cole. To Senator Bill Ferguson, Baltimore City Council President Jack Young, and Councilman Eric Costello, thank you for your support of this project. None of this would be possible tonight without the extremely talented and passionate team of consultants that we brought to this. KTGY Architects, Artie Jones Interior Design, Landscape Architect Mahan Reichel, Civil Engineer WR&A, and our council, Joe Woolman and Gallagher, Avelius, and Jones. To the Locust Point, Riverside, and Federal Hill communities, especially Greg Cilio from LPCA and Ann Fiocco from the Riverside community, thank you for your understanding and trust as we worked to bring this community to life. I would also like to thank the first of our retailers, Korean restaurant and bar Jazz and Soju, nationally acclaimed bar fitness studio, Bar Method, and of course Amber, a coffee to cocktail cafe that will open to our lobby, thereby making it a public place for the neighborhood. Finally, thank you to my colleagues at Bozzuto Development, particularly Steve Strazella and Tess Gwynn, as well as Bozzuto Construction and Bozzuto Management Company, which will ensure that Anthem House remains inspiring for years to come. We are thrilled to have all of these partners here tonight, a reflection of what is possible through dedicated collaboration. Jeff Jacobson and his partner, Alex Kapicki, saw a neglected lot on this corner, but envisioned what would be possible. They took a risk to reimagine this site and deliver something wonderful for Baltimore City. Please join me in welcoming Jeff Jacobson of Solstice Partners.
Thank you, Jeff Case. All I have to say is, first of all, wow, just look at this. And when I stand here today and I think about the view that you guys are looking at behind me, I try to put myself in the shoes of the 1.2 million immigrants who took their first step onto American soil just blocks away at the end of Andre Street here in Locust Point. From 1867 to 1914, Baltimore was the third largest port of entry into the United States behind Ellis Island and Boston. It's a great fact. Germans, Poles, Czechs, Russians, Ukrainians, and Greeks sailed to our port of entry on existing trade routes from northern Germany. Searching for an opportunity, this waterfront neighborhood was the first backdrop that set the stage for their dreams and their visions for a new life. I stood not far from here, literally maybe 50 yards from here, 7 years ago with my business partner, Alex Kopicki. We had just embarked on our own journey. We launched Solstice Partners. Our views at the time were obstructed by a rusty barbed wire fence, overgrown grass, and broken asphalt. But we also had a dream and a vision, not only for our future, but for the future of this site, the future of this neighborhood, and the future of this hardworking city. We often talked about the fact that this might be the last remaining parcel on the entire East Coast that sits just a few hundred feet from the water, nearly 30 feet elevated with panoramic views of a prominent city skyline. It was hard to convince GE to sell us the land, and even harder to overcome environmental, zoning, and community issues. And just like the ethnic immigrants who settled in Locust Point, we knew we couldn't do it alone. It would take a team, or a village, as they say, to make this dream a reality. We are grateful to our amazing partners. Scott Plank, thank you for your trust in us from day one. Thank you for your commitment to this incredible project, and thank you for your unwavering dedication to improving all fabrics of life throughout Baltimore. Thank you to Steve Jennings and the entire talented crew at Warhorse, Tom and Toby Bizzuto. Thank you for sharing your incredible passion. Thank you for your ideas. Thank you for your challenges. Thank you for your unrivaled experience, and thank you for sharing your best-in-class team of experts. You guys are unmatched in your ability to deliver truly transformational projects. Thank you, Jeff Case, Tess Gwynn, Brady Davidow, and Brad Zaccaro. You guys all deserve incredible recognition for your hard work day in and day out. Like the old immigration piers, our front doors will serve as a new point of entry for people of all walks of life who will call Anthem House their new home. Countless dreams of successful careers, new families, and life moments will undoubtedly take place for years to come inside these walls, and we couldn't be more proud to be part of this unparalleled project. Thank you.
We are honored to call Scott Plank our partner on this project, amongst others. His vision and his commitment to excellence was a primary engine for this redevelopment. Scott's focus on the full range of Baltimore's neighborhoods and facilities, such as the Francis Scott Key School just down the street, is also inspiring. Please welcome Scott Plank.
Thank you. So this is fantastic. This is Warhorse is really our first project, not just in Baltimore, but as a new organization. And there's going to be a lot of thank yous going along. So I'm going to make my thank yous a bit both more personal and more specific to those people that I leaned on the hardest, both in a good and not so good way, I guess, for them. But so I'm going to thank Denise Sullivan, who did the environmental work here. And I can tell you this was one of the more tricky sites that was out there, as Jeff mentioned. It had a whole lot of issues with it, and it was a very challenging site to do. And as Jeff mentioned, we had to actually take and buy the property before we had the environmental worked out. But we had such confidence, I think, in Denise and her team that they knew what they were doing, and they were advising us really well. So fantastic there. And then, of course, Joe Wollman. These are the unsung heroes, maybe, but who also, same thing like with the zoning here. So being new to this world and this industry, it was tremendous for me to be able to lean on somebody who had really good experience, not just with the letter of the law, but with the communities and with the mayor and the politicians and all the people who really it takes to make sure that something like this can happen, all the way down the line. Because even up till probably a week ago, we're still working on community things, et cetera. And Joe's at the lead of that. And of course, Brady, who's another guy that I leaned on hard because he happened to be here all the time. So whenever I would wander by, I would tell Brady whatever was going on, and we'd have a good conversation, and that was great. But I'm also going to really thank one of my favorite unsung heroes is Federico. So there was a design for this building that was done, and if any of you guys have ever seen the movie Amadeus, anybody? Anybody? I do. So there's a scene in Amadeus where Amadeus comes up to the king and says, "I've got this great piece," and Amadeus, not knowing much of anything about anything, says, "There's too many notes to this piece." And of course, that's a nonsense statement because he doesn't really know what he's talking about. So we looked at this building at one point, and and me being the king, not really knowing what I was talking about, I said, I don't know what's wrong with this, but there's too many notes for sure. And so Federico came in last minute, not so much last minute, but came in, subbed out, and delivered the details that we see here. And everybody knows that detail is everything. So thank you. Good job. And then, of course, I want to thank my family for putting up with all the work and all the talk. And, you know, I tend to chatter about what I do a lot. And they get the brunt of it because they're usually either in the car on the way to school or home from school. And Dana for also putting up with everything, and thank you for everything you're doing here. This is an important milestone for our organization because what it represents is the super high end, right? It's a beautiful building. It's a AAA building. We have the greatest partners in the Bizzuto team and the architects to deliver something incredible for our city, because I think the city always needs to have folks that the very nice project, so that we make sure that companies and CEOs, et cetera, are moving in. And then, as folks have mentioned, the other thing that we spend more than probably half of our time on is our CDC, which is working on making sure that we also have workforce housing and that we have fantastic schools, you know, right around the corner. So I think it's really important that we all focus on this is a great building, but let's make sure we also look, you know, beyond the harbor and look at other pieces. And I see Tess in the audience. Like, would not be a thank you if I hadn't also say Tess. I lean on Tess a lot too, both in a good and a bad way. So, thank you very much.
Baltimore is a city that has never been afraid to break the rules, and Anthem House continues in this tradition, much in thanks to our next speaker. Toby Bizzuto emulates a spirit of innovation while honoring his Baltimore roots, and this originality can be seen in the many distinctive features of Anthem House. Please welcome Toby Bizzuto.
Thanks, Mark. Good evening. Thank you all for being here. First of all, no one thanked the fife and drum. I forevermore will go to work with them in front of my car. It'd be pretty cool. Scott Plank and I began a friendship years ago, and I knew that I had found a kindred spirit in him. We've spent countless hours discussing how we may contribute positively to the city that we both love. Joining together as a partner on this project with our friends at Solstice Partners allowed us to actualize our thoughts. That is, we're able to build what my father calls sanctuary for our residents. Anthem House is not just a building. It's a space that creates emotional resonance with our residents and our guests. This building pulses with energy, creativity, and inspiration. Our goal at Bizzuto is to create extraordinary experiences for our customers in the community. Through the creation of this meaningful space, this team has created a stage set that will allow our residents to manifest their very best selves. This is a building that I hope will make you feel good things and bring you joy. As you walk through this building, please take a moment to recognize the extraordinary contributions from all of those involved. When you walked in, you may have seen Billie Holiday's eyes as you walked through the lobby. Only about a mile from here, Miss Holiday used to sweep marble steps when she lived in utter poverty. Today, thanks to local artist Jeff Huntington, she is beautiful and stoic and proud. Run your hands over the cold-rolled steel walls or the handcrafted sculptural screens forged by Baltimore's Gutierrez Metalwork Studios. You'll see tonight both this patio, I call it a patio, this is a very expensive patio. But please see this outdoor space as well as the one where we're going to have the party tonight, designed again by a Baltimore company, Mahan Reichel. Surrounding you is the stunning interior designed created by my dear friend Rebecca Jones at RD Jones. And you'll see the fitness room also designed by another local business, FX Studios. And tonight when you drive away, please notice the very large Anthem House sign that should be doing cool things if it's working. And lastly, take in the shimmering facade created by Federico and his team at KTGY. And last but not least, listen to the music tonight as you walk out. There was someone brilliant created a playlist for this project, and I think you'll love it. And lastly, you will notice on the drink coasters tonight that we have commissioned a toile pattern. I learned the word toile making this project, of Baltimore icons, and that's going to be installed throughout all the hallways. As my father likes to say often, this is a building that is loved. It is a building that I hope will stand stoically against time as if shouting, "I was here and I mattered." This project supports my thesis that you can be successful in business through contributing positively to the world, to your customers, and to each other. This building and the view behind me from the roof shows us that our city is beautiful and on the precipice of greatness. However, she will only thrive with proper attention, care, and love. Her future is in our hands, and I believe it'll be extraordinary. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, and have a wonderful evening tonight. Oh, I've been asked to introduce my father, which is always a wonderful privilege. And tonight you have Thomas Bizzuto the first, the second, and the third over here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Toby. I want to join with Toby and my colleagues in welcoming all of you, but it is a very special privilege, in particular, to welcome two of you, my grandsons, Jay Green and Thomas III. A little more than 2 years ago, we gathered in the parking lot across the street to break ground on this stunning community. It was an exciting day, but also a day when some questioned the timing of this development and maybe even its wisdom. You see, the circumstances surrounding this groundbreaking were unique. We had already delayed the ceremony 2 weeks, not because of construction delays, but because of the unrest following the death of Freddie Gray. During the groundbreaking ceremony, I expressed in my remarks the confidence and love we all share for Baltimore. It is because of this love and belief in the future of our great city that we were willing, as a team, as partners, to double down on its future. But what is it that makes a city great? In writing about the history of another great city, ancient Rome, the English philosopher and writer C.K. Chesterton said, "Men did not love Rome because she was great. Indeed," he said, "she was great because they loved her." It is love, the love of its citizens, that makes cities truly great. When people love a city, everything they do in that city, they do with the utmost concern, passion, and focus on detail. And that is how this team approached the creation of today, what is Anthem House. Anthem House, you see, is far more than bricks and mortar. This incredible community is an expression of love. It is a study in detail. From its meaningful design to the artwork that adorns its walls, from the detailing of its intermixing of its public and retail spaces to the extraordinary exterior, from the focus on a remarkable interior space to the landscape design, to the layout of each apartment, Anthem House pays tribute to our city's rich history while confirming its place in the future. I want to congratulate my colleagues at Bizzuto who brought passion and focus to this beautiful property. It was a great team effort, and I congratulate each of you. Every team has a leader, or in this case, two, so let me thank Tess Gwynn and Jeff Case. Thanks as well to our friends and partners at Solstice. Alex and Jeff were instrumental in making this project a success, and for our company and for the city, I want to thank each of them. Especially, however, let me say thank you to our partner, Scott Plank, and to his associates at Warhorse. Scott, we at Bizzuto may have brought experience together with our partners at Solstice. We may have brought technical skill, and we may have put together a great design team. But it was your spirit, your inspiration, your passion, and your desire that we do something truly extraordinary that influenced every aspect of what we see before us. Thank you very, very much, and congratulations. Most importantly, I want to thank the citizens of Baltimore. They have shown their love for this city and appreciation for our effort to pay tribute to the city by renting apartments at this community at an absolutely amazing pace. Scott and I are having this little debate about whether this is the best leasing property in the history of the Bizzuto Company. If it isn't, it's very close.
Just say it.
Now, it is my pleasure and my honor to bring to the podium Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for your personal support and guidance. And we thank you as well in your role as the leader of those many people in the various city departments without whom a property like this would never happen. Please thank them for us. Thank you very much. Now, please join me in welcoming the mayor. Thank you very much.
I tell you, if you can't feel the love, I certainly do. I was thinking, Toby, that this was more like an altar. I mean, you can do a lot of things here. We can have concerts, we can have church, we could even have a marriage ceremony. A lot of things can take place here. But, you know, I have a little speech planned, but I'm not going to give my speech because I want to ring that bell. But what I do want to say to Scott Plank of Warhorse Cities, thank you so much for your inspiration, for all of your work. And as Scott says, he just didn't do it here. They do it all the time. And let me just say, Soltis Partners, thank you too for all of your efforts, and to the Bizzuto Group, another great team in Baltimore City. I tell you, I feel the love every time I touch one of their projects, every time I get to cut a ribbon, every time I get to hear what it is they want to do. I'm always inspired. When I walked in, I want you to know that I met some of your new residents, and they are as excited as everybody else is here. Hey! They were telling me already how great it is to be here and how excited they are to be here. I also wanted to acknowledge two council persons who are here. I see Yitzi Schleifer. I also see Councilman John Bullock. And I also wanted to tell you that Councilman Costello wanted to be here, but he led a very, very important hearing for us today. And I'm telling you, he was there from the moment as the start to the end, because we have a responsibility to make our cities safe. And we have a responsibility to make sure that everybody has a quality of life living in our city. This is a beautiful place for anyone to live. And we hope that people will come in the spirit in which this was developed, with love, with care, with attention to details. And let me just say thank you all. I love all of you all because I know the work that you did, not just here, but all over our city. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do I get to ring the bell now?
Yes.
Almost.
Absolutely. There you go.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So with that, in just a moment, we're really going to start this party up on the fourth floor courtyard. And if you have a glass, please join us in raising it. Oh, and we've got some right here. Please join us in raising it to this amazing night, this wonderful mayor, and also this beautiful crowd of people that we have with us tonight. Thank you so much.